the choice of imam is optional. A local imam could be made. But if you make an imam who is on journey,
Yes.
then this is an optional issue with you. This does not permit others to forego the obligatory part of the injunction and ignore it and finish their prayer only in 2 rakat. If, suppose, this had happened, do you know what would happen? For every prayer, people look right and left. Is there a man on journey? Any Musafir, please? Come forward and lead the prayer. How laughable the whole situation will become. Eh? Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, please. Or after that, I think there's no question. There shouldn't be any question anymore. There's such a wonderful question, and everybody has become so happy. And now I think it's also time for dinner, isn't it? Already? Late? It's okay. So do you call it a day, or shall we sit longer for some more questions to be answered? No, it's not up to me, it's up to them. A bit longer, okay. Next, please. Oh, mashallah. Mr. Little Loan. Wa alaikum salam.
Well, my question today is, how do you become a prophet?
A what?
How do you become a prophet?
You don't become a prophet.
How do you become a Khalifa?
You don't become a Khalifa either. You are made a prophet and you are made a Khalifa by God. How did you become alone?
From my dad.
Did you become yourself alone? You don't know how you became. Because you were made alone, so no questions are asked. When you have no choices of your own being on the issue of what you should be or what you are, then this question is invalid. Khalifa does not become, a person does not become a Khalifa himself. A person does not become a prophet himself. It is God's choice, He makes it, and in the first case, He expresses His choice directly by addressing the person whom He has decided to make a prophet of God. And in the second case, He expresses His choice through the will of the believers who have been trained in trained in electing offices honestly, and only to elect somebody whom they believe should be Khalifa in accordance with his relation to God and his fear of God, that is taqwa. So when people are trained to think in these terms, their choice becomes the choice of God, because they choose according to the standards employed by God, right? Or devised by God. And then Allah has also special blessing. He extends the cover of His mercy over such electoral college, and as if they are guided by the spirit of holiness. So that is why we call Allah makes the prophet and Allah makes the Khalifa. They don't become themselves. If you are entertaining any wrong thoughts, please dispel them. Right? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
I have two questions, if you
Please.
permit. My first, Zur, we've all seen the situation in the Middle East and Palestine, where Palestinians are killing each other. Recently has been seen in the news. In light of this and other recent events in the region, what does Zur see as the future for the region at the moment?
You see, it's not a regional question. It's a global question. This is not the first time that Muslims have started killing each other. This is not the only place where they have done so. They do it everywhere whenever the time comes they never hesitate to kill other Muslims for the sake of some political or other ulterior motives. So this is the basic disease with which we must tackle and try to cure it. And such diseases in religious history are found to have prevailed so many times before. And every time the remedy, not only suggested but implemented by God, employed by God, was the remedy of sending someone from himself to cure them of their dishonest thinking, their dishonest behavior, their disloyalty to the values of their own religion. This can't be cured superficially or by any attempt at the hands of the religious leaders, because they themselves are, in fact, accessories to this crime. Maybe the larger share of the crime is earned by them. So the only answer is God sends someone from himself, and those who begin to follow him, they are gradually, through a long process of internal jihad, are cured of their ills, and their moral standard is raised gradually and steadily until in God's sight they become a model for the rest of the world, and then they grow in number and increase in their influence. That is how the things are changed. There is no shortcut formula.
Right.
Thank you.
My
the second question.
Second question. As a practicing homeopath yourself, what would you say to the view held by science and the medical profession that homeopathy is merely a placebo effect, i.e. it is all in the
merely what?
A placebo effect, all in the mind.
Placebo, I know.
Yes.
You see, this, all that is in one's mind, the question is, can it influence others so positively that that becomes an observable fact by other people, and the cure is brought about so positively in the case of a patient that it can even be testified by any advanced medical system of testification. Can it happen if you are just talking of placebo? It doesn't, eh? So this is how homeopathy works. Daily, without fail, I have incidents brought to my notice where a patient was almost rejected by the allopathic system of cure, and they said, we don't have any other cure for you. We've tried whatever we could. You cannot be cured, or do whatever you like. That person comes to me, asks for some prescription, I prescribe, and sometimes the very next day, I hear the report that with the grace of God, everything is, every disease is wiped out and no more suffering. This happens not once in a blue moon, it happens daily. And from all over the world, I keep hearing reports, not always of my prescription working so miraculously, but now that other Ahmadis are becoming homeopaths, they write to me about their own several experiences here and there, and they're amazing. You see, so this morning, or was it yesterday? I think it was, yes. There's something which happened in 2 days. The day before yesterday, I received a patient who was suffering from backache for the last 3 or 4 months. It was a lady who went to all possible doctors, hospitals, hakims, and every system was employed. But she couldn't sleep restfully even for about an hour, because the whole night she was kept restless and in suffering and in pain because of this backache. She said, do something, I'm suffering so much. So with the grace of Allah, I prescribed something, and yesterday I heard such an excited telephone call. She said, you know what happened? I said, no, I don't know what happened.